Good night, everybody, and as we always say at the end of our episodes, I take my left foot here and my right foot out the door!
It's the So Far So Good podcast with Nick and Eamon. Now here's your producer, Harrison Kern.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I am Harrison Kern, you're the producer for the So Far So Good podcast with Nicholas Rohrman and Eamon Haggerty. We have a special... We have a special guest here today. Her name is Valerie Stoffer, a young and up-and-coming screenwriter and other things.
Yeah.
Comedian and regular at Eddie's sports bar. Challenge Mike.
What up, Challenge Mike?
Tuesday nights.
Shout out. That's the second podcast in a row where we're shouting out Eddie's.
How you doing, Val?
I'm doing great, Harrison. How are you?
I know it's been good. I mean, I've seen you like 4 nights in the past like 5 days.
Yes.
It's been a lot of fun.
Yep.
We've been hanging out, and now we're here together with 2 of our other friends.
Whoa.
Other comedian friends.
That's
Whoa.
right.
Doing a little
We're here.
podcast.
Yeah, it is a little podcast.
Just a little one.
Just a little
little
one.
pod?
Just a little
Little
baby
pod?
podcast. All right, as you can tell, the energy here in this podcast is a little interesting.
This is going to be unlistenable.
I can't wait. Yeah.
Oh God! But we're so glad to have Val on the pod
Oh,
Yeah,
today.
we
thank
are.
you, guys.
She, funny enough, she's actually she was not in episode 2
No, she was
at
not.
all, but she will be in the next
So
episode.
be on the lookout for Val in a role on episode 3.
We're just here to shoot the shit and like have a good
Dude,
time.
this is a non-cursing
Oh,
podcast.
dude.
You mentioned this
Shoot the
earlier.
stuff.
Let's shoot the stuff, guys.
Man, I'm ready to stuff all the shoots. That was shoots with a CH. CHUT?
Like bamboo shoots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to stuff them with cocaine.
Oh.
And then
Just like what would that just be, like a PVC pipe filled with just cocaine?
I don't know. That sounds like something I don't know anything about.
Yeah, I mean, I don't either. I'm just clearly. I feel like anyone who does know anything about cocaine is gonna be like, "You don't put it in a bamboo shoot. That's so
just stupid.
That's stupid. Who would do that? I'm gonna go do a bunch of coke. You know what I mean? That's what they say.
Nick, are you a cop?
Do I have to? If I am, I have to say it, right?
no, you don't have to. You can be like the guy on Survivor who's like, "Oh, I ain't a cop, nah." No, I'm
Oh,
not
Tony?
a cop. I'm Tony. Yeah, I'm not a cop.
Yeah. No, I'm not talk. I swear on my mama's grave.
I swear on my mother. Just
Swear-
kidding,
swear
guys.
on my
Number 1 team, I am a cop. But you can trust me.
And he's in the final
Tony.
3, and then he
So-
loses.
I'm not supposed to swear.
You know, spoiler alert, he loses because everyone hates him and no one voted for him. And he was like, I mean, objectively, I played the best game. I understand why you gave it to her, but objectively, I played the best game. So I think you're all wrong and I should have won. He like tried to convince Jeff to change the rules of Survivor and be like, I think America should have a say. America should vote. And Jeff's like, that's not the point of this game. It's about the other people on the island. He's like, I know, but if America voted, I think I'd win.
It's maritime law. There ain't no
Right.
U.S. laws going on in Survivor.
He straight up said, like, I bet if America voted, I would win. And Jeff went, yeah, maybe. That's not the game. Because he was like, if they did vote, I'm
Right.
sure you would, but that's not what this is, so you lose.
I know Survivor is like a reality TV show, but every time somebody says Survivor, in my mind, I think of the TV show Lost.
Right.
Because I think, Survivor,
Yeah.
Island, plane crash, Lost.
Right.
the Dharma
Island
Initiative.
plane crash hatchet.
Bringing it back to
Bringing it back.
last
Episode
podcast.
1.
Man,
Anyway.
I really wish that every season of Survivor started with a plane crash. Like, if they could find a
Like
way.
a fake plane crash or
No,
a
like
real
if,
one?
if
That's
they
the
find a
first
way
challenge.
to safely, like they find a way to safely crash a plane, right? Like it
I
looks,
think you could do it.
you
if
could
you
do
set
it.
up the right parameters.
because
I
you
mean,
got to
it would
get
be-
that.
I
You
think
got
it
to
would be
get that
perfect.
survival trauma
Right.
in to the survivors, because then they're not gonna.
There it is.
There it is,
baby.
baby.
Is that the
Yeah.
sump pump?
Yeah, that's the sump pump. We gotta leave this in.
Harrison, are you pooping?
No, it's the sump pump.
Oh, what'd you eat for dinner, dog?
Spicy chicken sandwich and a triple cheeseburger from McDonald's.
Which takes us to our sponsor today.
Thank you. We'd like to thank McDonald's for catering our shoot today.
Yeah.
Is
Man, we're
taste-
gonna have a long list of caters, aren't we?
Oh, God.
Yes, we've been here a long time. Had lots of food, lots of smells in here.
Lots of
Lots of
smells.
We have some
Smells.
smells. We found
Vacuum cleaner smells.
Yeah, so Val, before you got here, we were doing stuff for earlier in the next episode, and we were trying to vacuum up
Broken glass that Harry broke.
and we got my grandpa's vacuum, and that thing has not been plugged in I'd say at least a year.
Oh no!
And it smelled like something crawled inside it and died. Once I
There's a
turned
little
it
bit of
on.
garlic though. It smelled a little bit of
Yeah.
garlic.
So it was a little delicious.
No, it was
No.
like bad garlic, like garlic that you
No.
don't want to smell. You
Like
know what
black
I mean?
garlic.
It kind of smelled like a dish that someone prepares for you that is supposed to be like really good and like, you know, fancy, but
It's
it just
organic,
tastes
and here's
like
all these ingredients
garbage.
you've never heard of before.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And they're all from like the garden.
Dude, just give me ragu in a can. You know what I'm saying?
Just give me canned bread.
I just want canned bread. That's what I want.
It makes me think of canned like Spam, which I know is like. You
Why does it
know,
make
You're a
think
big
of that?
Spam fan.
I hate Spam.
Oh, I thought you
never-
said you
I've
liked
never had
it.
No,
Spam.
I just
I
talk
like-
about
I-
Spam a lot.
Spam's
Yeah.
fine for me. Like,
Well, since you talk about it so much, I felt like you liked
I
it.
know, but I really it freaks me out, man. Maybe if it was fried in a pan like it was more times, then I would like
Right.
be into
that's
it.
how I
but-
eat Spam.
Yeah.
I fry it.
Really? See,
Yeah.
I have cousins out in Washington State, and they
Just
eat
scoop
it out of the can.
can?
I just have this.
What?
I have this vivid memory
No.
of being like 8 or 9 years old and visiting all my extended family lives out west, and being in Washington State and like being in this tent in the backyard, and like one of my cousins had a ferret and like let it loose in the tent, and like the other cousins like in the corner of the tent like eating Spam out of the can, and I was like,
So
Yo.
when it's in a can, because I've never had it, I don't know.
Right.
Is it like a paste?
No,
or is
okay,
it a
so
meat?
you could like squeeze it out and it would come out like Jello almost. So it is
Okay.
basically my understanding of Spam is it's like a bunch of blended meats that has been jellied.
but they're
Okay.
like little
Yeah.
hot dogs, right?
No, those are Vienna sausages.
Isn't that Spam?
No.
No, it's
No.
similar. It's similar, but they're
You
they
don't
are
even
different.
know about Spam, Val.
I
You've
talk
been
about
lying
it
this
all
whole
No,
time.
they are similar. The Spam is literally just you open up the can and it's the whole thing is Spam, and
It's just like
you
a-
plop it out. It's a cube of meat. And what
Delicious.
I do if I have it, which sometimes it's good, but you just like cut it up into slices
Yeah.
and then fry it, and you can like cut it up even more. And I like it's good with like scrambled eggs,
Right.
and that kind of thing
Yeah.
mixed in with there. But
Really?
it's something that you only want like once a year. Like it's
Right.
really
Really?
yeah.
People in like Hawaii and stuff make like breakfast sushi out of it.
Yeah,
Where-
well,
where
Oh,
they'll,
okay.
they'll take like the rice and like the seaweed stuff, and they will like
Oh, and like make a little
and they'll
roll
put
out of
they'll
it?
put scrambled eggs and like a little like strips of Spam in there, and they'll
right.
I bet that would be okay. I'm just
Yeah.
talking like raw dogging the like
No.
Vienna sausage Spam.
You should never do that.
There's no correlation
Wait,
between.
okay.
So-
Vienna sausages, though, like they do have a similar taste. And when
Yeah.
I was a kid, my dad is a musician, so he always works nights. So when I wasn't in school, I was just with my dad. I didn't have to go to like a daycare, and we would just go on like adventures and trips together. But for some reason, we were like, "You want to go get some Vienna sausages at the gas station?" And we're like, "Yeah." And we'd just sit in the car and we'd be like, "This isn't great." And we're like, "I know," and then we'd eat the whole thing.
Oh, that's cute. So when you eat Vienna sausage, you just like think
I think
of,
about
like,
adventures with my dad.
That's
you know?
cute.
That's so
That's super
wholesome.
cute.
That's awesome.
I think
Speaking
of.
oh, go ahead. I'm
I was
sorry.
gonna say I think of a ferret in a tent. So
Yeah.
that's my.
You know, speaking of beloved childhood memories, me and Nick and Val have known each other for a very long time.
Long time. I've known
Yes.
Val since fourth grade.
I was like, 6th grade was when I joined choir.
So then not fourth grade.
right.
6th
correct.
grade. Yeah.
Yes.
We all met in the Indianapolis Children's Choir
Yeah.
many years ago.
Yep.
And the,
ICC.
the story in the first episode of our show of Eamon and I meeting at an opera is true. We were in different choirs at the time, but in 5th grade we met in La Boheme, the opera. And then the next year you joined the
And
choir.
was that
so.
5th grade for you guys? Because I feel like I remember that being the year that I joined.
Were you in?
That was 5th
That was
grade.
5th grade.
Was that 5th grade?
Yeah, 5th. Because I did all the math too.
Were
like,
you in
went
La
back.
Boheme?
I was not in La Boheme, and I remember,
No.
but I remember I wasn't there for auditions because I joined
Oh,
like halfway through
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
semester.
I think so.
So it's one of
So it
those like
would've been-
half year kind of like deals.
Yeah,
where it's
I
like
think-
you're
yeah.
It would have been
good.
the end of 5th grade, I guess, for
Right.
you. like December or
So it was
January.
the starting of 6th grade for you.
Yeah, so it would have been yeah.
Well, 6th grade would have been like your first Christmas Angel Sing
Yeah,
concert.
that's
and
what I
stuff, so that's what
remember.
you're thinking
Yes.
of, yeah.
Yes.
Okay, yeah,
Angels
yeah.
sing.
Christmas
dude.
Angels Sing. Whoa.
Well, it's Angel Sing is like the event.
The big.
It's what the
Christmas
concert's called.
St. Luke's on 86, baby.
Yeah.
Dude, I missed like doing like the 2-a-day shows, like because we would
Oh,
like
man.
it would be like me and like Ben Mandrish and his family, and we would.
Let's
and if-
name drop a bunch
I'm
of people.
sorry,
People
I'll-
don't know.
but like we would all just like go to this one like sports bar, like across from St.
Really?
Luke's, and just get some like nachos and stuff, and like it
Cute.
was great. Yeah, it was wholesome.
Wow.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
There's some great memories in ICC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's so.
What
There's
was the worst memory?
okay. So
Eamon has the
I
worst
I
memory.
I don't get to talk about it often with people who were there, but Val, this is something from the East Coast trip. Remember the tour?
Yes, I
Okay,
remember the East Coast trip so
Do-
well.
do-
Yeah.
Do you remember when they took us to the fucking like Russian strip
The
club?
frickin'.
Yes, the frickin' Russian strip club. And then there was
We
that
were-
there was that one
do you
dude from
mean
that like
Russian strip
adult
club?
It's a
choir.
Yes,
straight up
okay,
Russian-
okay.
yeah, okay.
See, I don't
So-
know anything about this, so you need to explain. to
Okay,
me
so
what-
I will explain, and
I
Val,
wasn't there,
feel
but
free
I
to
heard
chime
the
in,
story.
please.
Yeah.
'Kay, so we were touring across the East Coast with a Bulgarian folk music group, and we were
Nice.
doing like
As
a piece
people
about
do.
Right.
And they were like, how about we like treat the kids? It's the last show of the tour
Yeah.
to some like authentic Bulgarian food.
Yes.
So they like tracked down like a Bulgarian restaurant
Okay.
in quotes on
All right.
in New York City because we
Which
just
I found on Google Maps
Yeah,
when we were on a
which
Zoom call
we-
together.
Is it
yeah.
still around?
I think
There's
so.
Google Maps, like there's Google Maps
I
Street
forget what
View
it's-
where you can like go through the
I forget what it's
restaurant.
called. Harry, can you look up Bulgarian bar in New York?
Yeah.
Is it
So-
New York City?
In New York
Yeah.
City.
Yeah.
And so they took us to this place and there was no sign out front. It was on the Lower East Side of Manhattan.
Yeah.
And they gave everybody wristbands and we go in and you hear the
That's it, I think.
and like and it was a bunch of like fucking
Click on
like
Google Maps.
12-year-olds going into this bar that they rented out for a private party.
Dude, you want to hear something fried?
Yeah.
Harry,
Yes.
go
So,
back
like-
and click on Google
Yeah,
Maps.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
There it
Are you
is.
pulling it up?
Yeah, click on the. You can probably click on the above the logo of the or like above the name.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Yeah, and then
Okay.
go to
Oh,
like
there
Street View and
she
look
is.
inside.
Yeah. I remember like there were kids who got uncomfortable and like you can go back on the bus if you want.
Dude, I remember that too. So we were also singing with an adult choir. Do you remember that? It wasn't the Bulgarian folk choir.
Yes, and there was the
Yeah.
one guy
Was
that
this
like
it?
all the girls were like
Yes.
throwing this. Yeah, all like the middle school
Is
girls
that
were
it?
in love
I
with
just
this
remember
guy.
my dad went into the men's restroom and
go to the
he.
men's
Oh gosh,
restroom.
go to the
he-
men's restroom. You can see in the men's restroom on Google Maps.
Because the urinals look like mouths,
The
right?
urinal was a mouth, the
Uh,
sink was an ass, and like
How do I go for it?
and
Oh,
12-year-old me was not prepared.
Here,
Oh,
let me. I'm gonna
dude.
go over there real quick and show you.
Yeah, I'm not good at this.
Dude, it's nuts though. Like I remember that American choir. I think they were like from California.
Yeah.
And there was this dude, this dude who was like in his like mid-20s, and he had like curly blonde hair.
Yep.
He was like pretty fit, and he was like talking to all of these like 8th graders, like freshmen and high schoolers,
Yes.
and like.
Oh,
And
I
like,
remember.
and you know how I know is because I'm still friends with him on Facebook because
No
he added
shit.
me on Facebook when I was how old? That was 2011.
Yeah, yes, 2011. Yeah.
Yeah, so I was like about to be in the 8th grade.
Right. Wait. Okay, Harry, go
That was
down
so
the
fucked.
stairs.
The food
if you
was
can get
good though.
down
The
there,
food
or-
was
the food was
fire. The food was
delicious.
awesome. But like, I remember going down in the basement. There was like the stripper poles, and there was like the fucked up men's bathroom.
Yo, this is nuts.
Yeah.
Where are the stairs
Remember that
at?
that like up like I
Where
was
the
there,
swings
the
were. Yeah.
stairs.
Yeah. Go down the stairs because that's where the men's room is.
Yeah,
Okay,
this is a
trying.
journey
Dude,
we're all
this-
going
this-
on. together.
This is not easy. Oh,
Ah, come on.
Maybe
Oh.
maybe click on one of the side pictures.
Wait, are the
Scroll on
restrooms down
side.
there?
Yeah.
Dude.
Okay, this is the basement.
okay.
This like interesting little.
This is weird.
Yeah.
Just look in a building like this.
That's nuts. I didn't even know that technology was this
Oh,
advanced.
I just went upstairs.
Oh dang, dude.
Dang. Maybe I'll go the other way.
That's the.
This is the
And-
basement.
Is that the basement?
It's supposed to be because there's the or I don't know. Oh, click
Looks
on
like
that
the
picture.
kitchen.
The
Yeah,
blue one.
click on the blue one right above it. There's the.
This
there-
is the basement.
This is the
This is the
basement.
basement. And
Yo.
then-
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then
Holy
if you
crap.
try to
Can't
find the
believe you
restroom,
did.
it's
Imagine
in one
like
of the
like a
ends.
bunch of like caramel kids going down there and seeing that. Like,
Yeah,
that was,
dude. Oh.
The bathroom's that direction, right?
Yep.
Yep. Click over there.
Oh, I see it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was on
yeah.
Google Maps with
We're going.
Eamon. Look at this. So that might be the.
That's
the
there. It is.
women's
There's the
restroom.
ass.
There's
sink.
the ass sink.
Oh.
Can you
wow.
zoom in on it?
It's
Like,
disgusting.
Look at that.
No.
And then if you look over to the left,
That's so funny.
look over to the left, like from this angle, turn and there's the mouth.
Yep.
too.
Oh my gosh, that's
Yeah.
so cool.
Dude, yeah, I know.
That's amazing. I would love to piss in that.
Dude, I've been waiting my whole life to piss into a giant porcelain mouth.
Oh. See, I've only been to NYC one time, and I didn't see anything this cool while I
Really?
was there.
We got a real slice of New York that day.
I'm
Dude.
jealous of that. I want to go back really bad.
The only time I've ever been to New York was singing in Carnegie Hall.
That's dope.
Were you
Oh
on that?
yeah, yes.
Yeah,
That
like
was
the choir was like, "Hey, we've been personally invited to sing at Carnegie Hall," and we were like, "Okay."
yeah.
Did it sound good in there? Because I heard
Yeah.
that the acoustics are all screwed up because of
was-
the renovations.
So it was really, it wasn't screwed up from the choir standpoint that
Okay.
I remember. Like we could sing and still hear each other.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know how it is in the audience, but
I
on
hear
the
that's
stage-
really bad. Like bands, like can't like if you were in an orchestra or something like that,
Right.
like it's almost impossible to hear like what you need to hear.
When
to
were the renovations? Because that was our junior year
I
of high
don't-
school.
Yep.
Hold on.
Yep, it was.
Wow, that was like 7 years
2015?
ago.
Yeah, dude.
7 years ago?
Time
Yo.
is passing and yet it's standing still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're treating life like we're 30.
Yes.
Oh
Oh my god.
In 2014, it was completed, and like I watched a video on how like the renovations, like it doesn't sound like Carnegie Hall anymore, like it used to
Damn.
because of how they renovated it and they used like. And there was only so much I think that they could do because the building was so old and it
Right.
used like not sustainable
Oh.
like architecture like techniques and things
we
like
should
that.
just tear it down then.
Well, yeah, just build a new one from
Yeah.
scratch.
Just tear it down. Who
Who
cares?
And it's just
Andrew
kind of
Carnegie's
interesting
dead. You
how
know?
they
Who cares?
didn't think about that and how
We
it
need
would
Cuomo
affect.
Hall.
Oh,
Let's,
gosh.
Andrew Carnegie's dead. Let's bring out Cuomo Hall.
It's bit time. We always just do a little bit in the
Okay.
A
podcast.
little
Well,
bit.
We
a
just,
little
we
bit.
just do some baby improv. And we like exactly. You got it.
I think Val.
Oh, guys, I'm sorry. That's my baby cousin. She's upstairs. I gotta go.
Oh, Eamon, come on.
Can you bring her down? Can you?
Yeah.
Hey, can you make sure you bring her down so she can say hi on the podcast?
Yeah, I'll bring her down. Hold on. All right, everybody. This is my baby cousin. She stayed with my grandpa for the.
Oh, what's her
Weekend.
name?
Yeah, this is Stephanie.
She looks kind of green.
That's no, trust me. That's a Haggerty family thing.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
No.
It's
It-
the
it-
Irish.
She'll grow out of
Yeah,
it.
yeah, it's an Irish thing that grow out of it. It's left over, from like the famine when we all ate grass.
So
Like,
what's
yeah,
what's her name?
Stephanie.
Stephanie.
Stephanie. Sorry, I
Yeah.
wasn't paying attention.
Ask her some questions. She's starting to speak a little bit.
Stephanie, so how old are you, Stephanie? Oh, okay.
Oh, can you translate for us?
Yeah, she said she was 46.
Okay, so she
Oh,
was wrong
wow.
then. Okay.
She hasn't been to school yet, so she
Right,
doesn't know.
She doesn't know numbers yet.
She doesn't know numbers. Stephanie, what's your favorite thing to do during the day? Okay.
Nice.
You said
I think-
you said she's starting to speak, right?
Yeah,
She's
yeah.
still not
this
doing
is-
it very well.
That's
yeah.
that's Gaelic.
Oh,
We're bringing her up. Yeah, we're
Oh,
bringing her
right.
up in a Gaelic speaking household. So, yeah.
Right.
You really have to preserve those kind of languages. They
Exactly.
die
You know,
out,
it's a dying language. My dad
Right.
grew up in the Gaeltacht. You know, it's a
Right.
very remote region of Ireland. They
Right.
speak the language primarily. You know, we want to keep it alive. So
Right, right.
Seamus.
Oh,
Whoa,
wow.
whoa,
Very good.
whoa,
Very
job.
good.
That was good.
Good job,
Okay.
Stephanie.
Come on, give me-
I need a pint.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what the Irish do. You know, it's
Yeah.
we're used to
Teach 'em
You know,
young.
like when the kids are teething, we just give them a little Guinness in their bottle, and it puts them to sleep. You know. No, there she goes.
Right, there she goes. No, so I do. There is an interesting point to be brought up here. I feel like when you're exposed to something when you're really young, it doesn't become as much of a taboo when you're older. Like
Exactly,
I think one of the
exactly.
big problems with drinking in America is making everyone wait until 21 makes everyone want to try it, and then we have unhealthy drinking habits in America compared to like European countries because they
Exactly.
know how to treat alcohol.
So
I think starting them young like that is a really good idea.
Steph,
Right.
what's your favorite beer?
But I'm one in right now,
See,
and I'm feeling good.
See, like I said, once
she is
she
learning.
is talking, and she needs, she's gonna loosen up a bit.
She's kind of like one of those like soundboards that you press a button and just a phrase comes out. Because I feel like she can't just say anything. Like we asked her how old she was, and she kind of said 46, but then she has like a
47.
full sentence about what her favorite beer is.
Right.
I'm a Haggerty.
Oh, nice. Very nice, Stephanie. That's
What's
nice.
what's her middle name?
You can talk to me, Sonny.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Come on,
You
tell,
can
tell,
come on,
tell them what your
talk to
middle name
Stephanie.
is.
Oh, my middle name is
Well, she's really opening up. Right
She
Yeah,
is.
exactly.
She's relaxed.
my middle name is Molly.
Oh,
Molly.
Stephanie Molly Haggerty.
Stephanie
that's
Molly
that's a
Malone
very beautiful name,
Haggerty.
Stephanie.
How do you feel about Shrek?
Oh, I'm only 2 days old, and I must say I love the green guy.
Right, because I mean, you have the same complexion. You're
Yeah,
green. Remember we talked about it earlier in the bit.
Excuse me.
You remember earlier in the bit
Nick,
sketch that
Nick,
we're doing
it's-
right
it's-
now that
it's
you
Are
said
you
really-
saying I look sick?
no,
Nick,
you look
Nick,
Irish.
No, it's very rude to bring up the greenness.
Yeah.
It's like it's a cultural.
It'll
okay. Well, then
pass.
why
It'll
didn't you get
pass.
angry at Harry when he mentioned it earlier?
Because she hadn't opened up to us yet. Like,
Okay.
Right.
I only came out here to have a good time.
Well, I'm glad you're here.
I need a nap.
Yeah.
Can you take me to my crib?
Yeah, I got you. Come on.
All right. See you guys later.
See ya. Wow,
Good
Harry.
night, Stephanie.
They're very. What a sweet family the Haggertys
Yeah.
are, don't
I
you
know.
think?
They're just a peachy bunch of peaches.
Right. Oh, hey Val, welcome back.
Hey,
Hey.
Val's
Hey,
back.
yeah, your bathroom is
go?
weird.
Yeah,
So-
it is a little weird. You
Yeah.
missed a really, really great person.
Right.
Oh.
Yeah, you didn't get to meet my baby cousin.
Oh, cute. I
Stephanie,
think
yeah.
you told me about her last
Yeah,
time we
yeah,
talked.
yeah.
Oh,
She's
that's
upstairs.
cute.
You can
That's
see her
awesome.
later if you want
Right.
to.
Oh,
Just wake her
yeah.
up.
I hear she's a raging alcoholic.
Yes.
So.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's only 2 days old. You gotta
Start him young.
Yeah.
Start me
Yeah.
young.
Yeah.
That's what I
Yep.
said.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, great minds think alike.
Yeah, it's crazy. Oh, God.
Bit adjourned.
Bit adjourned. Bit court. Thank you guys so much for that bit.
That
Really
was great.
appreciate it.
What a good bit.
Wow. So, what do you think, Nick?
In general,
Yeah, what are you thinking about?
right now I'm thinking about the Three Stooges.
Okay.
And
I thought we weren't going to get into
I
this.
thought
Okay.
it would go away with our bits, but as
Before-
soon as you prompted me,
Now,
it
okay.
came back
But
out.
before we started rolling, guys, Nick was just going on about the Three Stooges.
Well, and I knew I had to get it out of my system,
But he
and,
didn't.
and we didn't because I didn't get to see the part of the film I wanted to see. Which is
Well,
all Harry's fault.
let's talk a little bit about something a little bit different though. Okay?
Okay.
There's something that has existed in our culture for quite some time now that I feel like is a little bit underappreciated, and that is the recent installment of the Three Stooges with Will Sasso.
right.
Yeah, it was a very noble attempt. I think.
I think it was a daring attempt,
Yes.
combining
Well, yeah.
the Three Stooges
Will Sasso's a
Jersey
great
Shore.
with Jersey Shore.
See, this is the thing. Like,
I mean,
I
how
saw.
insane is that?
I legitimately saw the movie in theaters.
Yeah, same.
Because my dad and I are huge Three Stooges fans, and it felt like the heart was there, and the people that got to play the Stooges were great.
Oh, absolutely.
But it's just one of those things that can't translate, and
Right.
and the Jersey Shore part is equally the worst part and the best part of that movie because it's cringy that it's Jersey Shore at all. But the basic plot, they want like someone discovers the Three Stooges and they're like, we got to get them on a TV show, which is like worst plot they could do with the Three Stooges.
Sure.
They're like, these guys
Right.
are wacky, they hit each other, and then like they all decide not to, and then Moe's like, no, I'm still going to, and he gets added to the cast of Jersey Shore, and which is just
Okay,
really
okay.
weird.
He's like,
And-
hey, Snooky.
Yeah, he's
got
like, hey,
something on your
Snooki, you got
face."
something on your
That
face,
is a
pie.
weird genre
Yeah.
meld.
Yeah.
And it's cringy that it's the Jersey Shore, but it is funny. Whereas the cast of Jersey Shore is going along with it like 100%,
Oh,
and
really?
the bits itself are really funny physical comedy bits that feel like they would be in a Three Stooges short. But the way it's shot is really modern. It's shot like a
Like the Jersey
Jersey
Shore.
Shore, and there's just something kind of unsettling because I can watch something like that and find it funny, but I don't want it. Like I don't want to be watching
Especially
it.
in like a theater setting. Where
Right,
you're like,
it was
yo,
really
this
weird
could
to
be,
watch in theaters.
This could be like a YouTube video
yeah,
series.
well, I saw it
Right.
at the
But-
dollar
Yeah.
theaters. Like I only had to pay $1 to go
Oh,
see it,
okay,
which was
well,
fine.
That
But-
that feels like a. Thinking of it as a YouTube sketch, it feels like a Key of Awesome video.
Yes,
you know.
it does.
Yeah.
Do you guys
Like,
remember the Key of Awesome?
No.
So they were
the
like,
Key of Awesome.
yeah, the Key of
Yes.
Awesome. They had a different song, and they would like do parodies.
Okay.
So there was the what was the main one? Oh, they had a couple.
They did the Justin Bieber one.
The Dark Knight one was really popular.
The North Korean Gangnam Style.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was just they were just a YouTube channel. They made a lot of really funny parodies and
It's like genre melding because it's like two
Yeah.
things that you think are like
Okay.
not like each other or something, and it just,
I've only seen epic rap battles of history.
hey, I mean,
It's-
fair
Hey.
enough.
I mean, it's
It's a similar,
similar,
concept, I
right.
guess,
Yeah.
vibe.
it's a
Right.
similar
Similar vibe.
vibe. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but the and I was saying this before we rolled too. I've been like heavily inspired by the Three Stooges in my comedy, but it's something that I just can't even attempt to replicate. Like I've tried. I wrote a bit where for BSU Tonight, our comedy college show, where a character just gets slapped around a bunch and then thrown out a window, and I thought it was really funny, and I think it is funny in the video, but only because after I wrote it, I was like, I can't make this the way I want it to. Like, I can't make it like
Yeah.
a Three Stooges thing because it won't work. So I just need to keep the slaps and whatever, but like adjust it to fit the type of videos we made because otherwise
Right.
it just would have been alienating almost.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. It's interesting. Do any of you guys have like inspirations that you can tell are directly or indirectly influencing you? Like something that you aren't trying to replicate, something that you don't use actively, but you know for a fact has like inspired you in what you do.
Oh my gosh. Like growing up and watching Tim and Eric Awesome Show.
Right.
Like just all the time and just that sense of humor, like shaping my sense of humor in such a weird way. And I mean, they do not get the credit I think that they
No.
that
Even
they
now.
deserve.
Even
Even now,
now.
right? And
Yeah.
everything is like based off of what they did on Adult Swim
Truly.
in the 2000s.
Yeah.
Like
I mean,
it-
I've had a couple sketches that are directly based off
Yeah.
of Tim
Yeah.
and Eric
Right.
because the ideas are just there, you know?
Yeah, it was just so weird because I distinctly remember the first time I watched it. I was probably in like third or fourth grade, and for some reason my parents let me stay up like after they went to bed, like when I was in the summertime, or I would just go
Right.
downstairs and like watch TV. And then I remember Tim and Eric coming on once, and I was like, the show makes no sense, but it's so good. It was the episode with they had Spaghetti was on it,
Right.
and he was doing the cigarette juice ad.
Yes.
And
Oh,
I was
man.
like, what is this? And then like he was like calling the people like, oh man, I'm getting like really sick like from drinking this stuff. Like I'm like, and it was the same episode where they were doing like they were playing tennis back and forth, and I think who comes in?
Oh, God,
There's
I
a
don't-
couple of famous. I think maybe Bill Hader and
Something
Oh, really?
Fred Armisen like come in or
Those-
something
yeah.
like that.
It's
One of those
something like
guys. Couple of famous people come in, and then the Grums Pilgrims or whatever
Oh, man.
Pilgrims or
Dude,
that
Grums.
Grum is probably one of my favorite characters. It's like this animated like blob.
Yeah.
That-
and it's like
it's like
promoting its movie.
Right.
Yes,
And it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
like they have like a fake movie trailer with this thing, and there's a couple bits with the Grums.
Yeah.
But then
Yeah.
like my favorite one, I don't know if this is all of them or if just one, but there's like a celebrity interview, like a promo reel for the movie, and they're like, "I'm here with Grum talking about his movie," and it just cuts over and it's like, like
Yeah, it's like the worst looking 3D rendering.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
and it was so shocking because I was like, why is that there? Why
Right.
would they make that so bad on purpose? It's
Right.
so intriguing. And I didn't even really think it was that funny until like I just was watching it.
Yeah.
And I kept watching, like seeing other things that they did. I'm like, wow, they have such a distinct style that I don't like. I don't want to replicate that style.
Right.
But it's inspiring to know that I can do anything
yes,
and
Yes,
and
yeah.
So that's
subvert people's
huge.
expectations
that's huge
to make
for
them
me.
laugh. You know.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I don't have to follow like any. I don't have to follow any other ideas. You know, like
that's a big thing. Like
Yeah.
even in this episode, like bringing back the gun bit from the cold open
Yeah.
and like shooting the negative commenter in this episode.
Yeah.
Like that's something that that's the kind of thing that kind of thing inspires me from
Right.
like having that subversion of expectations, even if it feels like maybe it could go that way, like actually following through with it and getting as wacky as possible.
Yeah.
I don't think I discovered Tim and Eric until like either senior year of high school or college.
Right.
Yeah,
I knew a
just
little bit in
didn't
high
know.
school, but so Val, to go back around the circle. So things that inspired you.
You know, that's so funny. I wish I could participate in the conversation. I'm not super familiar with Tim and Eric. I've probably heard of them before, and like
Right.
I've
Oh,
seen
man.
like some clips.
You should.
Obviously,
Missed
but
out.
We have a couple.
Yeah,
we can
It's
show
up
no,
you.
your alley.
yeah. And like I know, was Reggie's Reliable Rug Depot like
Inspired
inspired by that?
inspired.
Yeah, that's I think
Heavily
because I remember
inspired.
that was like I remember that.
And same with Popsicle Playhouse, which I did the senior year.
Well, Popsicle Playhouse is almost
Reggie.
like
Yeah, so this is a sketch
Rugs are
I
back.
wrote
Yeah, and it's so
with
it's
Eamon
so
in mind, actually.
so intentional. Like all the like. I remember I listened to the first podcast and you were talking about Nick about like just the idea of like
the
like,
low budget
low
like
budget.
look
I mean,
is
it's like, and I think that is so like that like vibe is like so best served with like the college crowd because
Oh,
like
absolutely.
we have
Yes.
no budget. And that's not
Exactly.
what
it's
you were talking about.
charming.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, and it's like and it makes like the mistakes feel intentional.
Yeah.
And it gives you much more like artistic freedom to use, to make the most of what you have, I think. And I think that's
Right.
what's like really cool about it. And that's how like that kind of like
This was-
content goes far.
This is the sketch that it's mostly based off of, like
Oh, yeah.
that kind of thing.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean,
Just
not
get in front of a green screen, say a bunch of stuff, worry about the edit later.
Yes.
You know,
And
like,
it's like it's more about like the pacing of the editing, yeah, and the dippy effects.
that's
It's all
almost an
about
exact
like
effect that I put in Reggie, where he like comes in and like smacks
Crash.
himself,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
shatters in the
Yeah.
glass.
right.
I don't know, like, oh, man, there's something really special about.
I'm just trying to think about
Purposeful.
like what. Obviously, they came in this digital kind of age where
Right.
they could do lots of different editing techniques with little budget. You know, they didn't have to have like a big. I mean, obviously they're working at Adult Swim, so they had like some access to things. But I mean, like before that, I mean, I mean, even if you watch like the Eric Andre like tapes and things like
Yes,
that, like
yeah.
these guys that do this like kind of absurdist comedy stuff. You don't need a whole lot to do it.
Right.
You know, you
Yeah.
just need like
The
you just need
idea.
you have to figure out the pacing and then
Yes.
there you go.
The
That's it.
pilot of Eric Andre was filmed in the basement of a bodega.
yeah.
oh really?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
legitimately.
In New York?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Which
That's
it's so
sick.
interesting. And like what you were saying, Val, not to repeat what I said in the last episode, but I think it's important to like if you were aiming for something to do it intentionally, because that was something I learned in high school where like
Yeah,
if-
what your
if-
director said, right?
yeah, like if there was a mistake or if there was a thing on stage that felt off, the audience would assume that it was
because
wrong
it's youth
as opposed to
theater,
intentional.
and
Right.
yeah, and when you're dealing with kids making content, I mean, people kind of go into it like, okay, like let's be supportive, you
right.
know what
well,
I mean?
You're
Yes,
well versed
yeah.
in kids theater, like that's
Yeah,
something
yeah.
you know a
Work
lot
with
about.
kids.
yeah, I work with kids. Yeah, I'm,
and we used to be in that program.
yeah, Young Actors Theater represent.
Yeah.
They're totally rebranding their whole like it's
Interesting.
they're turning it into. I think. Well, actually, I don't know if I can like share this.
No, you can
but-
talk to us after podcast.
Yeah,
bring it
yeah,
up.
yeah, yeah. It's cool.
Yeah.
It's cool. But yeah, YAT was super fun.
So
and,
we were kind of talking about Tim and Eric stuff, and so
Yeah,
we want to
well,
know
yeah.
like what
Yeah.
your
well,
like.
I was even thinking about like this whole conversation about comedy and like low budget stuff, like making like really interesting content that is like feasible and it works. I feel like the mockumentary style
Yes.
is like
Oh, yes.
goes hand in hand with that. It's like, I mean, you watch like Ricky Gervais's The Office, and it's like this like grainy kind of like it feels very like homegrown, like like
Yeah.
home video, and it's like it creates this like sense of like intimacy between viewer and performers, because that's part of the bit is that like
Yeah.
these are like real people,
Yeah.
and so you get to
Yeah.
see them through like
There's
the
no
windows
distraction.
and and it's cool because it like it even shows like when they're playing the characters, it's like the actor has to make a decision about like as their character, like when they're on camera and how they perform in front of the camera,
Right.
and then when their character is like being spied on, like how they actually like that's like in the American, the U.S. version.
And that's how people are
The
too.
American-
like
Yeah.
when you know
Yeah.
you're being filmed, you're acting differently.
Oh, yeah.
Like
Yes.
the way the four of us
Yes.
are acting right now is not how we were acting in the car on the way to McDonald's.
Oh yeah,
It was
we-
more
it's-
unhinged.
but it is similar.
all the mics would peak.
I like
Right.
it's man, the American Office really kind of fucked up the British vision. Like it was different and it was good in its own right, but
I
it
feel
was
like
so,
Jim and Pam's relationship really carried it, but like the
Yes,
UK
yeah.
office was more about like the like it's like, and I
just so
hesitate to
absurd.
say cringe comedy because it almost feels like
It wasn't cringy for the purpose of being cringy.
No,
but
it wasn't.
was
no.
this
it's like a character study
awkwardness.
of like
Yes,
being.
yeah.
It's more of like
It felt like looking into the fishbowl, you know.
Yeah.
yes,
Like,
yeah, and I think that is so amazing. I think that's why Ricky Gervais is such a talented writer because he talks a lot about like write from what you know.
Yeah.
Which I've heard a lot of professors in like I had a playwriting professor who was like, I know a lot of writers say write from what you know, but I would say write what you want to know, and she was all about research, and I was
I'm
like,
down
oh
with that.
man, like, and I'm into that, but
Yeah.
I'm also like. I think that's probably a vice of mine that I'm a bit of a lazy writer, and I like writing from what I know because if you know what you're writing, you get the creative flow going, and you're
Right.
like, this
Yeah.
is funny.
But if you
Part of
know
the-
like what you need to know, like
That's
to
true.
write
Yes,
the thing, it's
yes.
almost like, oh, I can just look up this thing,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and I don't have to know like everything about that thing. I just need to know like what to write
Yeah.
for the
I feel
story.
like part,
you know,
part of the problem, or not the problem, I guess, but with like the idea of write what you know, is that a lot of people don't know a lot.
Yeah. Well,
right?
Very fair. I
A lot
think
of
that my professor would agree with
Is
you.
is that like I totally agree, but some people just have not had much life experience.
Right.
Oh,
To
sure.
write. But I don't know. I feel like that comes with time and that comes
Oh,
as you grow
yeah.
as a writer.
Yeah.
But I think that's part of like the reason why we liked doing the weird dumb shit in college is because we're
Yeah.
like no one wants to.
that's what we know.
Yeah,
Right.
that's what we. Well, one weird dumb shit is what we know.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But also just like. Yeah.
And I think like an example, I guess, of like a thing that Val and I have written together was a sketch called Digital Girl 2184
Yes.
for our BSU Tonight
that
show.
writing process was so fun
it,
too.
it was,
'Cause
and I
yeah.
think it's interesting because we did kind of write what we knew, even though it's this cyberpunk
kind of
like,
taking off like the tropes of like that
Yeah.
genre.
and it
yeah.
took the tropes and the aesthetic of a genre, and then the story is something we could relate to, and like
Yeah.
the bit of it. Oh, Val and I are actually at the beginning. We
Oh,
played,
the
we
cops,
played
yeah.
two cops.
It was so cold.
We played double cops.
It was
at the beginning.
crazy. I think it was like in February or something.
Oh, I think it's
Yes,
back. A
it
little
was in
bit.
February.
Or no, is it?
What was I doing?
Oh,
Because
here
like
we
you
go.
were
There we go.
filming it.
Oh yeah.
This is before you moved in too. Like this is you were
Yeah.
filming it at our house,
Before I lived there.
and I forget what
Dude.
I was doing, but like I
You
I
have the glasses on.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are sick.
Well, it's all cyber, dude.
That's
Bro.
I like the little
It's the
notifications
future.
on the phone.
Yeah.
Yes, Rachel.
Yeah, look at that.
Oh crap! What-
Oh man, you clicked on
it's
it.
okay. You get
Um,
that's good. That is so funny, man.
But yeah,
Like,
and it was
not-
fun. I mean, we like it was a competition within the show, and we ended up winning the like competition out of the
yeah,
four
I mean, I feel
different
like we put
films.
like so much time into
Oh,
that.
God,
And, like
we
there
put too much time.
because
That-
didn't you
such
have
a
like the
late shoot.
goldfish box was even like cyberpunk?
Yeah, so I
and, like,
redesigned the goldfish box to look like it was like from
Right.
the year 2184,
That was cool. That
where
was
I
so
imagined
cool.
everything was really like having that like cyberpunk aesthetic, but I also imagined everything was simplified. So it just
Yeah.
said like
Right.
cheese, goldfish, and it was like it was very
You mean chips?
chips, dude. That's a
That
that's
bit
a
hasn't
sneak
happened
preview.
yet.
That's a sneak preview. But
That's a
yeah,
bit from
it's
episode
a bit
3
from episode 3.
that we. And this is
Oh.
I'll tell you
episode
about
2.
it later. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the podcast is episode 2. We're recording things really weird
Yeah.
today.
Everything's. I don't even know
No,
what is
yeah.
going in.
You
what.
like you like explained it to me, and I like still don't really know what episode I'm gonna be on, but I'm
Right.
very here for it. I'm ready to go.
This is podcast episode 2,
yes, this
which
is yes.
comes out after episode 2, but you're at the beginning of episode 3.
Okay, cool.
And we're
Right.
filming. We filmed all of episode 2 today, and the biggest chunk of episode 3 today, as well as the episode 3 and episode 2 podcast today. Yeah, we just filmed a bunch of stuff out of order, and Eamon and I've been switching in and out of clothes
Well,
Well,
all
that's
day.
the beauty of film, though, is that like you I mean, like I've never been on a set where we've filmed in order.
No,
Never.
Yeah.
No.
We usually film like in order unless
Unless we have
like we
something.
had people here earlier that were doing stuff,
Right.
and like we got those things out of the way, but then we just went in order
Well, even
because it's
then,
like a
too, like-
camera setup, so it's
Yeah.
not like that.
Like-
Oh, that makes sense.
Right.
To that same extent, though, like we set up for Mr. Mailbox, and I filmed episode 2 Mr. Mailbox, and then episode 3 Mr. Mailbox,
Right.
and then we came over here, and I switched back into the episode 2 clothes,
Yeah.
and we went through chronologically episode 2, all the stuff that we hadn't already filmed, and then we switched back into episode 3 clothes and did all of that,
Okay.
and then
yeah.
we stopped when Dylan and Jacob come in. They're our guests for our next episode, and they come in. Like, it's just this whole
How do
like
you guys keep track of that? Is it just
we
like,
don't. It's very complicated.
Yeah,
I made a
I am
sort of call
surprised
sheet.
that you guys like in the edit
No.
are not pulling your hair out. Like,
right. Well,
but-
we just label it all, and
Right.
we can just group
Yeah.
it into folders.
right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And we also we just bought a hard drive to like archive everything we ever make.
That's
so
what
it's
I
just all
when I
down
was
on there.
doing my documentary in Florida. That's I'm every night everything
Yeah.
that we shot I labeled and I put in folders and everything's organized, and it's made the process so much easier.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Oh, I bet.
because I don't slate anything like while we're there. You know,
Yeah.
it's not.
I
Yeah.
keep hearing the floor creak. Is there someone upstairs?
No, it's just
Okay, it's just an old
minor
house.
creaking.
It's a spooky
It
ghost.
would be bigger creaks if there was somebody.
Zoinks.
Regardless, this isn't really like this episode.
It'd be Cold Creek.
It's cold. Yeah. This episode of this podcast is so scatterbrained. There's something about when the four of us get together that it's just like.
Because we all have so much energy that
Yeah,
we
and
just
we,
don't know what's.
we like to find something that someone said and just go on a tangent.
Oh yeah.
About that.
No, and I love that.
Yeah,
I feel
it's-
it feels super organic.
It really
Yeah.
does.
Yeah.
And man, guys, this feels so organic.
Oh, you
dude.
guys.
Feels like fresh time.
Find this
market.
podcast at Whole Foods.
Dude, it's an organic experience.
Okay.
Dude, this is the.
You about to throat sing?
Oh yeah.
I'm not even gonna try it.
That's fine.
we said you wanted to
Wait,
harmonize.
What?
We're gonna
You
harmonize.
wanted to harmonize. Okay,
It
okay.
hurts.
Why
Okay.
is that not the beginning intro music to this podcast?
That is a
Right.
great question.
And we're back with.
And so,
Welcome
do-
back to
do
the
you
So Far
want to
So
harmonize? Okay, keep that going.
I'm not even doing the vibrate. I'm just going.
Do you,
How'd
you
that
ever-
sound in your ears, Harry?
It sounds terrible. It's like my voice is like got this
Wait.
like sub octave like
Right.
going on, and everybody else is just going.
Good. I hope
okay, cool,
everyone
cool, cool.
enjoys this podcast. If you haven't
This is
clicked off
unlistenable.
already,
This is a
Wait a
3
second.
views
Are we
podcast.
gonna do the alligator song in canon?
I'm not.
I
I'll
don't
do
know
it.
what the alligator
Nope.
song.
We'll cut it out.
A
Three of us
one,
gotta do it. Three of
a
us
two,
I'll keep
gotta do it.
count.
I
a
don't want to.
three, and have you ever been down the water spout?
Have
way
you
down
ever been
bottom
to
of
the water spout?
sister?
Way down
There
to the
you'll
bottom
find
of the
a
water,
little
sister.
alligator
There
who
you'll
goes by
find
the
a
name
little
of
alligator who
Alfred.
goes by the name of
I
Alfred.
lost
If you
him.
do, he's mine.
Down the
I lost
water
him.
spout.
So
I
this
found
is
him
the
down
story
the
all
water
about
spout.
how my life
Now
got
I'm
flipped,
feeling
turned upside
lonesome
down,
'cause
and
he's
I'd like
gone.
to take a boat,
I
just sit
miss
right
him
there,
'cause
tell you
he's
how a
gone.
little thing about the
I
Prince
miss
of Bel
him.
Air.
That,
That
that was probably
Gave
that
my
wasn't in
soul.
time at all, was it?
no, but that because
It
Harris was
worked.
going.
Time. We
Yeah.
were in time.
And I was
time.
like,
we did it all in time. We
bro,
had
wait,
it times.
I'm really bad at counting time. I was just because I'm teaching and directing.
It's 8:36.
Oh, are we trying to wrap this up?
No,
Oh,
I was telling you the time.
oh,
I'm really bad at time. You need a watch. You don't have a watch, you can't have a good time. That's what Rocky Balboa said.
listen.
He probably said something like, "Yeah, if you're on the watch, but I got a good time."
That's exactly what he said.
This sounds like Ozzy.
You guys remember Austin Powers? He's like, I don't got the fucking thing on that. It's like a giant cock.
Yeah, I do remember that. I watched
it doesn't.
the
That's
original
a nice
Austin
content.
Powers just like 2 days ago.
What a
Again,
great movie.
Like it's such a
So
good
good.
movie. It's so I watched so many movies at the beginning of like the quarantine because I was just me and
sure.
Eamon were just at our house and we just watched movies like every night.
Yeah.
Sometimes multiple movies every night. And I think I watched in 2020 I watched 305 films, I think, according to my letterbox. Which is
how many of them have you
crazy.
not seen before, you think? Because that's what I did during quarantine is watch stuff that I hadn't ever seen.
I watched 66 movies I had never seen before.
Wow.
In 2020.
Dang, out of like 300. I'm a creature of habit, and if I know a movie's good, then I'm gonna watch it. And I love rewatching movies.
No, that's me too.
Yeah.
Because on
Depends on the mood
Letterboxd
that
I've
I'm
been
in.
I've been
fair.
marking all of this, but like me and Eamon lived together when the pandemic happened, and our buddy Austin lived in an apartment by himself nearby. So because he was by himself quarantined, he would just come over to our house and we hang out like
Movie
almost the
night.
whole time.
Yeah.
And we had a wheel that we would spin, and it was of movies that if at least one of us hadn't seen it, and it was a list of our favorite movies that at least one person hadn't seen, and we would just spin it and watch.
Cool.
It was so much
you're
fun. And I just watched so many films. And like since I moved back home, I've just not been watching anything. Like I just haven't been watching films at all.
Wow, I feel that. When I lived with my dad, I was not doing anything, watching anything. Even now, I feel like I don't ever watch TV, and but you know what I have been watching?
What?
A lot of Jeopardy.
You know what? That's fair.
Love Jeopardy.
That's fair. I've been watching a lot of TV.
Jeopardy.
Yeah.
Jeopardy is the greatest game show.
It's so quick paced. There's no gimmick to it. It's just you either know it or you don't. Then we move on.
It's just so like pure and academic and just like it's.
See, because Weakest Link has the music, and then Who Wants to Be a Millionaire again has the the music of and the host feels like they have to ham it up. Like Jane Lynch, love her to death, but
And Eel of Fortune
who
has
are those
the cloaks.
jokes for?
Eel of Fortune.
Eel of Fortune has all those cloaks and the people in the cloaks and the eel in the tank.
And the eel will just tell
And
you.
the eel just tell you the future,
when
when you'll die.
Are you pulling a funny?
That's
with
not
me?
even a game. That's just barely a game.
It's a BSU Tonight bit.
It was a bit I wrote called Eel of Fortune.
Wait, what year did you write that? Was that?
It was last year.
Oh.
I wrote it. So basically, they say and now it's time for Eel of Fortune, and they're like, Austin, are you ready to be on the show? And he's like, I don't know how to play. And they're like, perfect. Bring out the eel, and all the lights go out, and people in robes are like, and they wheel out this cart, and this floating eel comes up, and they just go, oh, great Eel of Fortune, please tell us it's not even a game, and the eel just goes, Austin Black will die August 25th, 2023, and we're like, thank you, eel, and he walks off, and he's like, I didn't like that game. I didn't it wasn't enjoyable.
I didn't like that game.
I didn't like that game.
I didn't like that game.
Hey, that was a fun game.
I
I just don't get it.
I don't think that's very fun. But yeah, so I've been watching a lot of TV, but I have not been watching movies. So I just got on Hulu and I was like, I'm going to watch a movie right now. And I saw Austin Powers and I was like, that's as good as any. Because I hadn't seen it in such a long time. I just watched the original. What I realized is the one I watched the most as a kid was number 2. When they go back to the 60s.
Two is
Heather
probably the
Graham, baby.
Yeah.
Heather Graham. Oh, I loved her so much.
I didn't even realize that I wasn't watching the original so much because I was watching the 1997 version and I was like, I've definitely seen this before, but I do not have a clear memory of it. Whereas the second one I know top to bottom.
That's so funny. I remember watching the first one a lot and Goldmember a lot.
Right.
Goldmember
is the one I've seen the
inferior
least.
one.
Really?
Yeah.
Goldmember also
Come on, that storyline of how they're brothers.
very fun.
It's fun, but Goldmember
Yeah.
also copies a lot of the same jokes from the second.
Yeah.
Because it's clear the second had the best jokes, and they do like the flying dick thing again, where everybody fills in a different word.
Fair,
and,
but that's such a good bit though.
Right.
Yeah.
And they have the bit with the subtitles. Is that
Yeah.
that's in Goldmember, right? Where the subtitles are in white and
Yes.
you can't see them or
Yeah.
something.
Oh, when they're in Japan?
Yeah. Well, see, the Goldmember is as an Austin Powers movie is not very good, but as a comedy movie is great.
Exactly.
All
I've heard
three of the Austin Powers are
people
so
make that argument
good.
before. Yeah.
When you're comparing them to the others, it's clear that Goldmember is the
It's not
low
bad.
contender, but it's still
Listen.
such a fun movie.
But Spy Shag Me is just comedy gold.
Yeah,
It's
it really
great.
is.
Yeah, that's
really
true. I
is.
don't know, but Goldmember's got Beyonce, you know what I mean?
That's true, and Tom
So-
Cruise.
I ate
And
'cause
Kevin
I'm
Spacey.
unhappy.
Kevin Spacey.
Dad, you
happy.
wasn't there.
Because I ate.
Guys, Kevin Spacey is Dr. Evil in that movie.
Wow.
Remember
What?
that?
Oh,
Kevin
in the,
Spacey
Yes.
as
in
Dr.
the, in the
Evil.
Tom Hanks plays
No, it was Tom Cruise.
or
Tom Cruise. They're the same.
I was
Same guy.
and Danny DeVito is Mini-Me.
Yeah.
Look at me,
Hey,
I'm
assholes.
Mini-Me. Hey, assholes.
Gosh. Wow.
I love him.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
good. Dude,
Austin
Will
Powers is so
Ferrell, is he in?
Yeah.
He
Yes.
plays was that in the
Mustafa.
first one or in this?
Mustafa.
He's in the first and the second.
Yep.
The
Bro.
first one takes place
I'm still
in
alive.
present, so he's the one who he gets shot to death in the lava tank. But in the second one, which is obviously the more iconic one, where he falls off the cliff,
Right.
and he's like, "I think my legs are broken. I'm gonna try to stand up. Nope, still broken." That whole
What a baby. A little
That
baby.
was
in
like
that
that was
movie.
SNL Will Ferrell. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, he can't be
Yeah.
asked the same question 3 times in a row. Like that movie, I can't even believe Mini-Me is not even in the original. That blows
right.
my
Yes.
That does blow
mind.
Is
my
he
mind.
really?
No,
not?
it's really not.
The second one had Mini-Me. It
And
had
Fat
Fat
Bastard.
Bastard. It had the
Wow.
Ask
Okay,
Three
second
Ti-
one actually might be the best.
Yeah.
I think
Oh,
it is.
oh,
I think it is.
If my girlfriend was on here right now,
Oh,
Dude,
Gabby
she'd
would
be going ham
schooling.
about
Elvis
Everyone
Costello
about
is
that.
Yes.
in the second
Yep.
one.
this random ass.
Man,
Ladies
Austin
and
Powers.
gentlemen, Elvis Costello.
well, this all spawned from I was on in the car with my dad just playing music, and my dad likes this musician named Burt Kampfert who makes a lot of really goofy orchestral music.
Oh, cool.
And then I looked up Soul Bossa Nova, which is the Austin Powers theme song. The
Oh, right.
and I was
Yeah.
just listening to that in the car with my dad, and we were driving, going like,
Were you guys also eating spam?
no. And so we, but I was like just in an Austin Powers mood, and I saw it on Hulu, so I clicked on it. But
That's
yeah.
cool, man.
what are some that? The second one was a movie I had on VHS that I felt like I watched a lot, but also not enough to have a perfect memory of. Are there any movies like that for you guys that you watched all the time, but you don't remember that well?
There was a movie, Spaceballs was like that for me for
Oh,
a while.
yeah.
And to circle back to movies that have or things that
Yeah, you
shaped
never
my
gave your
sense.
answer. Yeah.
Movies that shaped or things that shaped my sense of humor
Spy
that I don't
Kids.
realize it. Spy Kids, but that was a talking point in the last podcast. Was Spy
Now
Kids?
no,
Oh,
she
yeah,
listened.
yeah, yeah.
That's
Spy
right, that's
Kids.
right,
yeah,
you
yeah,
listened
yeah.
to it.
No, I did. I
And
did.
I saw Spaceballs when I was very young, and
Yes.
it's not a perfect movie. It's not even the best Mel Brooks movie.
Right.
No.
But it gave me everything I needed.
Yes.
Where it was just taking the piss out on Star Wars and the really weird meta jokes with the Mr. Coffee and the Mr. Video
Yeah.
bit. And
Was the Mr. Video? Is that the scene where they're looking at? Is that
yeah,
us?
yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I remember. Yes, I remember that scene so well. Oh my gosh.
And where they're just where are they? Well, let's put in the movie and find out.
You know
And I'm
what's
that had never ever crossed my mind as a kid. I'm like, this is fucking gold.
I love the can of air, like the.
Yes, the Perrier.
yeah.
Man, it's God. One of the funniest.
relevant.
God, when Mel Brooks gets his head turned on back when he's President Spaceball and he gets
Yeah.
teleported and his
Right.
head is on backwards and the first thing he asks, he goes, "Why didn't anybody tell me my ass was so big?" And that has been etched into my brain. It was so funny.
somehow I have still not seen Spaceballs all the
Fuck,
way
man.
through. I have
Really?
not seen it as a full movie. I've seen all
It's
of
not
it.
worth
I'm
it,
sure.
in my opinion.
I think
Really?
I don't like
I think
it.
it's worth it to
I love-
watch it at once, just so I know it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But
True,
I
I get-
loved Robin Hood Men in Tights as a
Oh,
kid.
yeah.
I loved Young Frankenstein.
Was Dave
and I
Chappelle in Robin Hood
love-
Men in
yes.
Tights?
Yes.
Was he?
Wait, is he
Bro,
Blinken?
I'm pretty sure he was.
No, I mean, is he not Blinken? He's the Achu, right?
I haven't seen Robin Hood Men in Tights. I'm just a big fan of Dave Chappelle.
I did not
He
know that
is
was
in
Dave
it. Yeah,
Chappelle
it's
until as soon
Dave
as you guys
Chappelle
said it.
plays Achu.
Yeah, Achu.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Because
There
one of the
you
best
go.
bits in that movie is there's his blind butler. He goes, "I'd like you to meet my friend Achu," and he just goes, "A Jew here?" Yeah, I did not realize that was Dave Chappelle. Oh my
Bro,
gosh,
Look at him.
He's a
He's so
baby.
young.
man!
How old
Robin
was
Hood.
He must have been
So this was
20,
in-
Oh, he had to have
21?
been young.
I want to see.
1993.
I want to see
Dang.
Robin Hood dead. No,
Dracula, Dead and
Dead and Loving It.
I've never seen it.
My
I've never
gosh.
seen it.
What's that?
I remember
It's-
watching that movie on TV.
It's another Mel Brooks movie.
Oh,
and
really?
it's Bram Stoker's Dracula, but it's a parody of it.
And it's
Yeah.
Leslie
Cool.
Nielsen,
Yeah.
the guy from Naked Gun and Airplane.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Don't call me Shirley.
And I remember vividly the scene. I was watching it with my dad. It was like a Sunday, and it was on TV, and we were watching it. And this girl, like one of the character that plays like the Nina Harker, like
Yeah.
person. I don't know what her name is, but she plays Nina Harker, and she's like turned into a vampire. And she like the dude that she's like the Jonathan Harker guy character. She's like trying to seduce him, and she's trying to kiss him. She's like, "Kiss me, John," and he's like, "Oh no, I'm British." And then she like pushes her boobs up, and it's like, "So are these." Like, and I was like, "What does that mean? What does that mean? I don't know what it means.
Yeah, man.
What does that have to do with boobs?"
Dude.
I was 7. Like,
I'd be willing to guarantee that Robin Hood Men in Tights is the one I watched the most as a kid. I had it on DVD, and I would just like back when you brought your like portable DVD player with you. I had a whole thing. It was just
Yes.
Robin Hood Men in Tights was constantly
I
in
burned through portable DVD players. I think
Yeah.
I had like 7.
that.
Dude,
What
one
did you
time,
do to them?
dude, like I would just
put cheese
I know-
slices and bologna in
She
there and
burnt-
see
she
what
burnt
we're
through
playing.
them. She
No,
fried
dude,
spam
but
on
like,
her.
dude, no. But once my dad,
Those
my
old
dad,
batteries
like,
used to get really hot.
Yeah,
so I
man.
mean,
dog. I have this one portable DVD player that my dad took on a business trip, and he was It was in 2008. I think it was 2008 or maybe 2007, and he interviewed.
Who was the president?
He. Well, that's the
Do you
thing.
remember
is
who the
he-
president
he
was?
Obama.
He
Then it was
interviewed.
2008.
He interviewed Obama, and Obama
Whoa.
signed my portable DVD player.
No
And
way.
it said,
How
and
did I
it
know
said,
what the bit was?
and it said, "Dream big dreams, Valerie."
And then what'd you do with it? Where is it?
You
You don't have an
It's in-
Obama
it's in-
DVD player?
It's in my cedar chest at my dad's house.
You need to get that Obama DVD player and frame
That's
it.
so
Dude,
funny.
I know, right? Like,
That's incredible.
That's
That's
crazy.
awesome.
yeah, that's what keeps
crazy.
me going every day.
Every day you think about, I used to burn through these, and now this is the one I'm keeping forever.
Dude,
you know?
Yeah.
We had a portable DVD player, but like before we had that. But so when I was a kid and we would go on road trips, when I was really little,
Yeah,
we had this big van,
yeah.
and we used to just take our little tube TV that had like the VCR built into it,
Oh no
and
way.
like put it on the floor in the car,
Oh,
and like
man.
plug it into the cigarette lighter.
Yeah.
I think my
Just
my
like-
grandparents did that one time with my
Yeah.
sister and cousin when they went to Florida.
And we
Oh,
would
that's blowing some
we,
dust
we,
off
would,
my
we would
brain.
drive down to Florida and stuff, and we would just like watch tapes in the car
Yeah.
on a little tube TV.
I would
Dude-
do that
Okay.
on a DVD player that had a screen built in, and it was just Robin Hood Men in Tights and Finding Nemo were the two movies I would watch.
Wow.
Gosh, dude, our generation is so funny with technology because I
Yeah.
feel like I
Yeah.
remember people like with razor phones in 6th grade.
Oh,
but
yeah.
like,
Oh, yeah,
I,
I
also
had a
remember
razor.
when the
I remember when
iPhone
I got
came
for my
out.
Yes.
first
Right.
slide phone that turned sideways, and all of a sudden
Yes.
there's a
Me too.
keyboard, and I was
Me
like,
too.
I have
There was-
buttons.
Yep.
There was a friend of
Wow.
ours who texted Nick and I after listening to the first episode of the podcast, and she was like, "Look, I know I'm only a couple years younger than you, but when Eamon said that he didn't have internet in his house as a kid, like I'm like, how? How did I'm like,
Yeah.
No, I
She's
did.
only 2 years younger than us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is insane. Well,
Yeah,
but
but
like
that's
I
true,
had
like-
internet
Yeah.
in the house.
Sounds like somebody's privileged.
Yeah. Well, by the time that I needed the internet, I had it. Like I
Right.
had some
Yeah.
sort of internet,
that was like
so
middle
I could
school,
play,
like
Yeah.
for us. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah.
Like,
and I could
or
just
guess-
play like Roller Coaster Tycoon without the internet. You know what I mean?
Well, I remember-
Miniclip.com.
I remember because
Yeah.
YouTube was a thing in 2005, right? So it's
Yeah.
like
Yep.
I remember
Yeah.
watching Weird Al Yankovic videos.
Uh-huh.
Yes. Oh,
Yeah.
Influences. Weird Al.
I'm
okay.
surprised nobody mentioned Weird Al because
first
I mean,
thing-
Yeah, Weird Al was. I listened to so much Weird Al.
yeah.
On LimeWire.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude, bring back
Bill
the
Clinton,
LimeWire
bring it back.
combo.
No, the first thing that I ever saw on the internet was my spoon is too big.
My spoon is too big.
am a banana. Then vacuum
My
sounds.
anus is bleeding.
Oh my
I saw
God.
that way too late, and I was
Really?
like,
This is
It doesn't
"This is
hit.
fucking stupid."
It doesn't hit unless you're 12.
Right? Exactly. Like,
so this podcast will not stop if we don't stop it, and we
Right.
have
What's
hit the mark.
what's the time?
Right.
it's like an hour. Right
yeah,
now,
it's over.
so.
But
Aw,
so
damn.
this has been
We
so
could
much
go-
fun.
Yeah, I know.
we gotta.
Really-
We have to film one more.
We
thing
do have to
tonight.
film another bit. We're actually
Yeah.
recording this
You gotta
podcast
send us a
before
picture
we
of the
film
Obama.
Val's bit.
Oh,
DVD
I will send you a picture of the Obama.
Yeah. And we'll put it up on the
signed
podcast.
Portable DVD player.
Yeah, please do.
Yes.
All right.
All right. This has been the So Far So Good podcast with Nicholas Rohrman and Eamon Haggerty. I'm
Thank you
Harry
so much,
Baby.
Val.
And thank you, Val, for coming on the
For
show.
having me.
I'm Harry Baby. And you know what they say.
See ya! This has been a SchlemCorp production.